Right guys, so we've got the North Face ALTAMESA 2. Here we go. As always, no ASMR nonsense. So, good looking shoe. Upper feels good. But before we start the video, please like, subscribe and share. You never know who this video might help. For me, it's quite a big shoe, but it doesn't feel as heavy as it looks. Nice soft here. Haven't even put these on yet, so I do wonder how they feel underfoot. Obviously 35 heel stack, 5mm drop, so roughly about 30 at the forefoot, which is good. And that's one good thing about this shoe I've always found was the protection you got under forefoot. Some people used to moan about like you wouldn't get much ground feel with this shoe, but like for me, what I found when I wore the originals was actually that was a good thing because like my feet didn't fatigue. But I suppose that's when people are going on technical ground. Now, the biggest update for me with this shoe and what needed to be done was the outsole for sure. And it feels like they have delivered on this. Let me get the original. So, by the way, already you can feel that I think this shoe is still going to be a little bit softer than this shoe. You can just feel that by squeezing it with your thumb. But look at that outsole, excuse mud. You can definitely say that this is more of a road to trail shoe, whereas this is now a bit more trail. Let's have a look, see if I can get it in the shot. Still really wide. These bits had like quite unnecessary, like these bits here. Sometimes when you were running as well, you'd like clip your ankle on this stuff, so that was quite interesting. But a really good shoe. Still love the V1 of the ALTAMESA 500. But I'm really excited to try this. I will wear this today. I'm doing a bit of it's going to be more road than trail, unfortunately, just because of our weather. But yeah, that is the North Face ALTAMESA 500 first impression. What I would say as well about this shoe is North Face usually really have hard rockers. So like, it's quite like that, like toe front. Whereas these guys, the ALTAMESA, sorry, 500, isn't like that. It feels like a bit more of a normal shoe. So yeah, this is definitely a shoe that's a great training shoe. And I imagine will be, for some people, a race shoe like me. That's if it obviously lives up to the hype that I want it to. So yeah, I'm just going to put them on in a minute and have a little walk around the house. So I've just put these on, walked around the house in them, and then took the dogs out around the front. Bear in mind, that is obviously not a run test, but the shoe feels good. It feels light, feels stable, which is like what a good thing is about this shoe. You do get a lot of support in the arch. You don't notice it, let's say, from like when you wear insoles where you can feel it digging into your arch. You just notice that this is quite a stable shoe as opposed to like real flat neutral shoes. Good heel collar, which is something I always look for in a shoe. I think North Face always get this well. Even with their carbon models like the Vective Pro 3, you know, everyone's always trying to cut weight. And sometimes people are taking it from the heel, say like the Tecton X3. And what you end up then is like a really good shoe, really light, nice sock fit, good midsole, good outsole. But then you've got this awful heel counter and then you just get rubbing. And then you've got like a £200 shoe that you paid for. That's not even comfortable to run in. My only concern with this at the moment is I'm just hoping, obviously I haven't ran in it properly yet, I'm just hoping they haven't compromised the midsole. That is one of the best things about this shoe. It was a straight out of the box shoe. You put it on and you could run relatively far and your feet would feel good after. So yeah, happy with the outsole update though. Really happy with that. Bit more aggressive, making the shoe more versatile. I did a recce recently in this shoe and I loved the shoe, but I was slipping a lot. And it was one of those things where I did have to control the downhill segments just because I just didn't have confidence in the shoe. Whereas this, from a looks perspective, I reckon this is going to be better on the downhills and better on technical terrain. Very stiff, doesn't move much. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this update as long as they haven't played with that midsole too much. That's what I care about the most in this shoe. Upper looks very breathable as well, a little bit more breathable than the V1 version. You've obviously got these laces that are floating around at the moment, and they're really nice laces. You know, you tighten them up once, jobs are good in. So yeah, I'll be back a little bit later. I need to obviously take these out for a proper spin. Bear in mind it will be predominantly roads with a little bit of trail in there. And then I'll finish this video off with how I got on. Hello guys, hope you're well. So, I have taken the shoe out for a run now, which is good to see. Be honest with you, feels like a really good shoe. What was good as well is I did think that we were going to be on the road for most of today's run. Granted, there was a little bit of road, but actually we did end up on some trails, which was really good. And this handled it pretty well. At the moment in the UK, it is just very wet and boggy and muddy. And actually the shoe held up pretty well. Just the right amount of sort of grip. I was with someone who was in road shoes, and yeah, it didn't fare well for that person, but this was just right. One thing that's definitely noticeable in this shoe is the upper feels a lot more breathable and a lot lighter, which is quite nice, because the V1, definitely the upper was quite thick. I wouldn't say it wasn't breathable, but you just noticed it was quite a thick upper. Also, I did feel that there was a slight rocker to this shoe as well, but I feel like in this model, as opposed to say the Vective line, the rocker starts like here instead of it right being up by your toe, so it's not really an issue. Width was brilliant as always. I must admit, that is just a very, very comfortable shoe. Feels lighter than the V1. It is lighter, to be fair, so that's why, obviously. But yeah, it's just a really comfortable shoe to be on, like to have on your feet. I must admit, the upper's really nice. It's a really nice wide base. You do feel quite high off the ground, but you know, you're sort of expecting that with this shoe. And I do think that sometimes this stack height, this ain't 35. I think it's higher, but then when I look inside, obviously the inside bit's quite low. That's probably what makes it such a stable shoe, is even though you'd think that your foot would sit there, it probably sits a little bit lower, and obviously it just makes it more stable. But yeah, really happy with this. The foam is slightly different, as in it's got a little bit more of a pop to it. It isn't firm, but it isn't as soft as the V1. But I do definitely feel this is one of those foams that will get better with just a bit of time and a bit of mileage. Like I've said before, we're always very used to getting a shoe straight out of the box. This is Hoka's fault. And we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You just put it on, you can run in it, you can race in it. Whereas actually, there are still some brands out there that, you know, you do need to wear the shoe in just a little bit. But must admit, overall, really happy with the start of this shoe. This will be my main shoe at the moment. I just want to get a lot of mileage on it, just pound it and give it like loads of varying different terrains. I just want to get a good review out of this because I love the V1 and I just hope that this lives up to that model. But yeah, overall, North Face at the moment, first impression, really happy with the shoe. Feels a bit more robust than say the Speedgoat 7, which obviously I've already sent back. But yeah, overall, happy with the shoe. I'll probably review this again once I've got 80 to 100 miles on it. That's when I'll know. But it will more so come from the different terrains that I'll put this on as well. I'll hopefully get out for some big long days. If I get like a 30 miler in, I'll wear it on that and see how that goes as well. But overall, all improvements from the shoe, and the outsole was perfect for what I was running on today. Whereas if I wore the V1 today, that would have caused me issues. So yeah, happy with that. And if you found that video helpful, please let me know. Drop a comment, like, subscribe and share, because this is a great all-rounder and a lot of people skip over the North Face when actually in the last couple of years I've enjoyed a lot of their shoes.